estimated that India would be $50 trillion economy by 2047 with a per capita income of about $18,000 to $20,000. Which basically means that today we are at about something like about $3 trillion economy, a little more than $3 trillion economy. To go to 30, we go to about 9x, 10x time in the next 23, 24 years. So that's a pretty big ask. Not impossible because that kind of growth has been achieved, but a significantly large amount of growth is what we need to do in the next 20-25 years. One of the concerns or one of the priority areas has been the manufacturing sector. While the manufacturing sector has been growing steadily, and I think we had the speakers also speaking about how the manufacturing sector has been evolving. One of the concerns has been that as a percentage of GDP share, manufacturing sector has remained at about 15-16%. It's really not expanded. So while the manufacturing sector has been growing, the bulk of the growth or the speed of growth of the Indian economy and the speed of the growth of the services sector has been substantially higher than the manufacturing sector. The servicing sector has expanded its share by about 15-20%, manufacturing sector maybe about 1-2%. If you see some of the highest growth countries, whether it is Japan, whether it is South Korea, US, Philippines, during their high growth period, it has always been the manufacturing sector which has grown faster. Because of the fact that the capacity of the manufacturing sector to have multiplier effects on the other economies is much higher than the services sector. So we will be looking at a period of next 20 years when the manufacturing sector grows much faster. The other thing that we also so again the manufacturing sector has also, particularly the MSME sector, has borne the brunt of the COVID 2019 fact. So all in all, if we are looking forward and if we are looking ahead, it is the manufacturing sector which has to revive faster, and it is the manufacturing sector which has to grow. And the other thing is that the manufacturing sector has to be more human-centric. If you look at, if we're today talking about Industry 4.0 was on digitization, which was in 2010. The first one happened 100 years. The first to second was 100 years. The second to third was another 100 years. The third to fourth was lesser than 100 years. And now in about 5, 6, in about 10 years, we are on.
We were talking about it this morning, that what we have to absolutely push SMEs to do in order to contribute. We already heard that SMEs constitute almost 45% of our economy. We need to push them to become more innovative. They have to have a vision, and they have to increase their learning agility. They have to invest in their workforce in upskilling those. They have to look at industry partners. They have to look up to the big brothers in the industry, and they have to find service partners. That's the only way to do it.
Technology. We have been always improving this. I think it is the right time now for us to leverage on this and go to the next level. And at this point of time, almost all the global companies are having the China Plus One strategy, where they are looking for one center other than China as being moved, or many of them are moving away from China. It gives us a tremendous opportunity to really capitalize on this, but it will have to happen on the basis of adoption of technology and skilling. We'll just move on to Mr. Soumitra Rudra, Advisor and former Vice President, Industrial Sales, Vidal Corporation. And Rudra started as a graduate engineer at Hindustan Motors and moved on to be the GM for the Eastern region, and then promoted to Vice President Industrial Sales, overseeing all Indian operation. He now presently serves as advisor to Vidal Corporation. Mr. Rudra, on the back of all the comments that we received, I think your thoughts before we move on to the question and answer session.
Good afternoon. I think almost everyone has covered everything. Now, like this Industrial 5.0, and we have not even achieved 4.0. Now, as rightly said, that it is not a different thing. It's an ice of the cake. Means what is Industrial 4.0? That same automotive
Actually, we are looking at how to use efficiently sustainability, particularly because of the global supply chains and the associated pressures on the resources. So, I've not been given any particular order, so I'd rather like to. So, if I may request, Mr. Pranay.
Good afternoon, and thanks a lot for giving the opportunity. I come from an industry which makes construction equipment. We are a Tata Motors and Hitachi Construction Machinery joint ventures. We have a plant in Kolkata. So, with regards to the sustainability, which is the topic of the day today, I would like to highlight only 3 broad points, because this is an august gathering of eminent persons from MSME, whereby certain ideas can be seeded in and which will be helpful. So, number 1 is that the sustainability agenda has now become a mainstream among the businesses, and it is not only the large businesses, it is also the small and MSME.